More news from the NBA. The Sacramento Kings and All-NBA center Domantas Sabonis have agreed to a contract renegotiation and extension. Now, under the new deal, Sabonis could get up to $217 million over 5 years, including $195 million in new money. The three-time All-Star was entering the final year of his contract before he was eligible for unrestricted free agency in 2024. The Kings acquired Sabonis at the 2022 trade deadline in a deal that sent Tyrese Halliburton to the Pacers. Let's bring in NBA writer Bill Reiter for a little more on this. Bill, the Kings had a breakout year. Light the beam became a thing finally. And what does this deal mean for the Kings as they look to build off of that success?
Yeah, this is just locking in another key piece, Jeremy, of a team that we saw really go to another level last season, and they believe in Sacramento is just the tip of the iceberg. I was talking to an NBA league source, a person that works in a front office earlier today, before the Sabonis news came down, just about some of the moves that we've seen, and he said that the name of the game for most organizations, especially in smaller markets, is lock in your talent now. Give them the extension, get them locked in, get them to stick around, salary's going to go up. So it's good business for Sacramento, and now you've got De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and now Sabonis under contract for several years. There's some young players as well. So this is simply the Kings locking in the core of a team that certainly appears to be on the rise.
Tyrese Halliburton signs a max extension on Friday. Sabonis reworks his deal on Saturday. Looking back on that trade, I mean, it involves 6 players, but is it now safe to say that that was a win-win deal for both?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, it really was. And you know that's a rare thing. These trades are not often done, regardless of what GMs and PR folks try to spin to work in the best interest of everybody. Everyone is trying to get the best of everybody else. You're right. Halliburton's win share, I think it is the best in that draft class, and Sabonis was a key piece of the Kings and what they did in Sacramento. It is one of those unique situations, and not in the short term, over a long enough sample size, and you know to the contracts these guys have gotten, that it is a perfect fit for each of these players and each of these organizations. And you're right, complicated trade, but these two core pieces, it is a win-win for these two teams.
So, Bill, you talked about Sacramento looking to build off of kind of the success that they had last year. Are you hearing anything else from the Kings in terms of other moves that they might be looking to make?
Very, very marginally, and this is part of the reason, and I think Sabonis has earned the money, but regardless, it's part of the reason you have to pay him. And we've had this conversation about Portland, we've had it about Milwaukee, we had it about LaMelo Ball earlier in the day in Charlotte, and it's also true for Sacramento. It is not a destination market. They're not going to be splashy in free agency. They're going to have to build through trades like they did here by developing players like De'Aaron Fox. That's been a long-term and successful project, and through rookies. So they've got Keegan Murray on their roster. They've got some other young guys. They really like Davion Mitchell. So no, they'll operate in the margins. They'll have some better minimums they can use. But the reason you pay Sabonis, beyond the fact he's a very, very important player, is because this is about as good as you're going to do. And the fact they have this core, that's what it's going to look like going forward.
Kings fans can sleep easy tonight because they've got one of their big guys locked up for the foreseeable future. NBA writer Bill Reiter joining us here on CBS Sports HQ to discuss Domantas Sabonis renegotiating and extending with the Sacramento Kings. As we take a look at the odds to win the Western Conference, I mean, the Kings last year third in the West, 48-34, lost in the first round, 7-game series to Golden State. It was a great series. But you look at what their odds are going into the coming season, 18-1 to win the Western Conference.